Hey, let's bang this out.
Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Jessi's Journey, or if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Jessi. I am an American expat living in Prague, traveling on the side, and this channel is just here to capture all the craziness that goes on in this crazy life that I live. You might remember a couple weeks ago I did a video about my 10 things that I miss about America, and it kind of seemed like I wanted to live in America, which is true. I do one day want to live back there, but as of right now, I feel like the things I love about Europe outweigh the things I love about America, so to just keep an overall well-roundedness on the channel, today my video is going to be my top 10 things I love about living in Europe / Prague and the Czech Republic. So let's get into the video, guys. Number 1, proximity. Now, it's no secret that once you're in Europe, it's super quick and affordable to travel from country to country. I specifically picked Prague in the Czech Republic because it's so central to all of Central Europe, so it only takes a couple hours on like a bus or a train to get to like all the major countries around me. But yeah, even like from here to get to the UK, it's a really short flight. You can take discount airlines, it's super cheap, super affordable, and I love that I have that flexibility that I can literally just like pop over to Germany on the weekend or Austria or wherever I want to go because everything is just so close and super in reach. Number 2, the laid-back atmosphere. Now, I'm sure this is kind of the case all throughout Europe, but for me, I'm talking specifically about the Czech Republic and Prague. I feel like overall, we're just not very uptight here, and in America, we can tend to get pretty uptight. Seriously, here, like, some coffee shops, like, start serving alcohol at, like, 9 a.m., and people will go in and instead of getting a latte, they'll get a beer, and that's just totally normal, totally casual. Like, it's just so much more relaxed here, and I feel like because of that, I don't know, you just get to enjoy your day-to-day life. You don't get so overwhelmed by like stresses about your job or finances or personal stuff. Like, you just are very much present and aware and enjoying your surroundings. Number 3, the food and drink. Okay, we all know I am a food-driven human being. It's like constantly in my mind, and I feel like just since I moved to Europe, I've ate the most amazing food. Even like I spent a month backpacking through Italy and I ate so many carbs, but I never felt like bloated or like sick from it because it was just like such a fresh quality of food. And it's the same thing here in the Czech Republic or basically anywhere else you travel. I think a big component of this is that everything's fresh. It's usually pretty local. They don't really tend to like have a bunch of exports, imports, and it's like it's seasonal. That's the word I want, seasonal. So yes, in my last video I said this is kind of like a con to living here. Like sometimes you just really want something and you can't find it, but when you do get something that is in season, it's just like the most delicious, wonderful thing you have eaten. Number 4, picturesqueness. Is that even a word? I don't know, but Prague is just like the most gorgeous city in the entire world. Seriously, like every single building has so much beautiful detail in it that I feel like I'm constantly walking around like looking up because that's where you see the most beauty. And I feel like most of Europe is like that. Prague was really well preserved during World War II. It never really had a massive attack on it, and so because of that, a lot of the old buildings are still in great condition, whereas I know like throughout the rest of Europe, though that's not really the case, and they have had to be rebuilt since the wars, but even still, like, I don't know, they just have this like quintessential charm to it, whereas in America you just get a bunch of like ugly white plaster houses and skyscrapers. Number 5, diversity. Now, I know the refugee crisis going on in Europe can be like an entire topic we cover in a different video, and I know everybody has differing opinions, so I don't really want to get into that right now, but I think it's beautiful that I get to live in this place that's like just a giant melting pot. Now, I know America is like that, but I also feel like a lot of times America, we have this perspective that like we are all natives, but we aren't actually from there at all. Like, I mean, like my family is like Spanish and Slovak, but I'm American, but I acknowledge that I came from other places, and I feel like, yeah, even like with what's going on with like refugees in America, Muslim bans, all that crazy stuff. We're not getting into politics because I have many strong opinions, but like it's just like a lack of acknowledge that there is a bunch of other culture and diversity out there in the world, and I feel like here in Europe it's just more accepted, and it's so cool. Like, I love in Prague, I can walk down the street and I can hear someone talking in French, and then someone talking in German, and someone talking in Russian, and someone talking in Czech, and then someone talking in English. Like, it's just, there's so much going on, and yes, there are parts of America that have that, but I feel like it's just more obvious here, and I really, really love that. Number 6. Politics. Now, I do tend to steer clear of this in my videos, but if you watched my videos from the beginning, I think you'll know which way I tend to lean. I don't like Trump. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's this thing in America where people are like, oh, I don't want to discuss politics. There's no place for like politics at the dinner table, and like I am totally respectful of people's beliefs in that, but our entire lives are politics. Like, the government and everything that just surrounds politics, I said politics so many times, or is what makes up our life. When you think about it, your job, your money, like, your life is politics, and the fact that people don't want to discuss it drives me up the wall. But here in Europe, it's like such an open discussion, and people want to know each other's opinions, and I feel like generally it doesn't get to at least any conversation I've had hasn't gotten too argumentative, and people are okay with vocalizing their opinions, but it's never, everyone seems like very open and understanding to learning other people's perspectives, and they want to discuss it, and they want to know more. Like, they want to know, why do you think this way? And I just think that's such a beautiful thing when you can have open, honest conversation with people and not have it turn into some like insane debate. Number 7. Work-life balance. I think this is something that most of Europe, but especially here in Prague, does really, really well. For me, full-time means working 20 to 25 hours a week, but I still get paid a full-time schedule. Whereas versus like back in the States, I think I was averaging anywhere between like 40 to 60 hours a week, depending on what kind of week I was having at work. And it just like, you would leave work and you'd eat food, maybe like watch TV or read a book, go to bed, wake up and do it the next day. Like, it was really hard to have a life outside of work, and I feel like there are a lot of Americans that would agree with that. But here in Europe, like, I don't know, like, your job is a part of your identity, but it's not your main identifier. And I just think that's so beautiful and wonderful, and it gives you so much room to be creative, to explore, to experience new things, and just live an overall better quality life. Number 8, public transport. Now, I'm from a pretty small town in Pennsylvania, and I know there are cities that do have public transport. I lived in New York City for a while, and I can vouch for this, that the public transport subway system is like the worst. I hated having to ride the subway when I lived in New York City, but here, especially in Prague, but really throughout Europe, public transport's amazing. The tram system, the metro, the buses, everything just, I feel like, is so much easier to figure out. And even like as I've traveled from country to country here throughout Europe, I feel like it's easier for me to understand their system as a foreigner, and it just makes life super convenient. Number 9, walkability. Okay, so maybe you just like do not want to do public transport. Totally understandable. It can be overwhelming. Here in Prague, you really don't need to do it if you don't want to. I would say everything is probably within like a 15-minute to maximum like 45-minute walk that you're trying to find, and that's like if you're like really walking out to the middle of nowhere. All the like cool touristy sites are close by. You tend to like, I feel like maybe that's just me because I'm a teacher, maybe this isn't actually applicable, but like all the schools and people that I teach are close by. If I'm gonna walk, I can get somewhere in like 20 minutes, and when you have like a 2-hour lunch break in between, then I mean, that's like nothing. But yeah, you can walk to everything. There's usually like a bank on every block, a like Picturesqueness where you can at least get some like food or drink, a restaurant, a cafe, like, I don't know. You can literally just walk anywhere, and I do that a lot. Walking is great. It's actually really funny when I have friends come and visit who aren't used to the level of walking that you have here, because I remember when I first moved here how hard it was to have to walk everywhere. It's just like a change of pace and your body adjusts to it, but it's always funny to see people experience it for the first time, and for me to feel like I am super awesome and physically fit. And number 10, healthcare. Healthcare. Honestly, healthcare stresses me out no matter where I am in the world, because I feel like I just don't understand it as I should. And also, I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the States in regards to healthcare, Obamacare, appealing Obamacare, you know, that whole stuff. But here, like, universal healthcare, hello, like the best thing ever. I think I pay, maybe if you convert it like to US dollars, maybe like $20 a month to have healthcare full coverage, and even like I had friends who didn't have healthcare here, and they would go and everything was super reasonable, super affordable, even to go to the doctor or like the emergency room without healthcare. And I mean, come on, like America, we need to figure this stuff out. Maybe we should look around at all the other countries that seem to be doing well in this and apply it to us. Alrighty guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, share it with family, share it with strangers. You know the drill. And as always, make sure to subscribe to this channel so you get updates in the future. Anytime I post, I usually post on Tuesdays. But yeah, that's all I have, guys. I'll see you very, very soon. Bye.